Kingpvz, welcome back to yet another video and another tutorial of how to make Hardbass. Now, last time it was my style and this is exactly the project we are gonna take off on, because today we are making Metalcord. It's like the extreme part of the song which just goes fast and stabbing and it hurts. You get a headache and everything. So basically, we'll use our project from the last video, because usually I only make parts of the song Metalcore, and the first thing that we have to do is increase the tempo to at least 155, but I will go 160 so it sounds prompt. So we can now listen to what we have so far. Basically, we made the drop last episode, and now we are gonna make the Metalcore drop right after it, after some riser. So let's listen to what we have. Yeah, you definitely remember this. Okay, so what I will do is quickly take this riser. Let's just add something. Alright, so this is a riser. Now what we have to do is to start off with a metalcore track. Is, well, have a metalcore donk. I myself have one right here. Right that. So how do you make a metalcore donk? That's a good question, so we will start here and I will just tell you how to make one like this. So first of all, you need a snare that adds the extra noise layer. So what I used to make my metalcore donk, I used heater snare too. Two reasons. First off, it's very modular noise, so it's like, you can see it's not just the white noise, but it's actually modular, it kind of wobbles in the background. And also it has a tone. You then find a donk that fits this tone. I do not know what donk I used back then, but it might just been Yummy Bamboo 2. And you layer them over like this. It's not the same, but you get my point. What you have to do now is just make this snare, well, pitch correctly, like this. It still doesn't sound like what it should, but you see, you just have to find the correct donk. I didn't, but this is not important, so this is just how you make it. A melodic modular noise snare and a donk. Alright, so now that you have your metalcore donk, let's just drag it in, because we are not done yet. First of all, this is a metalcore donk. And if you ever heard my metalcore, you know it's super loud. This is why we have the wave shaper and we make it super loud. Because of this, there's one problem that will appear, and that's that this will be louder than everything else. Despite the clipping, it will still be louder. So let's make it like -6 decibels. But this is not all. We still need to make it interesting, because so far we just have noise. And if we spam it, it's just gonna be more noise. So let's add reverb, right? And between the reverb and the wave shaper, let's put the most important of all the music, sidechain plugin. You see, now we just have to build it up. So it's actually very simple. Here in the riser, what I like to do is just make this. It's just a loop of millions of these stabs, but at the last bar, and before we hit, let's make it even faster. So these 32th notes, 32nd notes are gonna be very important in metalcore, because they are gonna be spammed all over the place. Alright, now that so it doesn't just randomly begin, let's quickly make a fade in like this, and look at that. Look at the riser we have made. Maybe we do not need drums at all. Maybe we just need some white noise, which I don't have. Okay, so let's quickly just add these, and we will need white noise. A bit of fade in and low volume. Here. Okay, and here, hold on, why? No, it's time for the metalcore part. And this is the point of this video. The structure of this is actually very simple. You just make spam noises. So first of all, we still need a melody to hold on to, because from this melody we will derive the donks and the bass. But the important part and important aspect is, after some time, you just have to spam these. So yeah, I will try to make something and then I will be back. Alright, I made something. Yeah, it sounds like this. So you can see there's a lot of spamming, and it's supposed to be there. The bass part is there because of the noise. This is why it's a metal chord, because chords make noise if you plug them in incorrectly. It's time for the drums. The drums will begin right away with the snare, but you have to leave some time for the listener to realize what's happening, that it's suddenly different. So there will be this small part with no drums, and then, right then after it, another crash will come with the drums. It's time to create the bass. So I just copy it and work something out. Working something out is the hardest part of making music. Make it a bit more monotone so it sounds angry. Alright, after the bass, it's time for the donks. Again, copy it. So you basically can see the metalcore donks. You are gonna trace them, but in such way so that the first one is the same as the second one. C and not D. Understood? Hopefully. This counts for all cases except when the bass is at the same tune as your targeted note. In this case, we have bass on C, but the first note is D and the second note is C. So we are still gonna use C despite it not being the first note, because the bass just tells us to. It's complicated, but it makes sense. You just have to figure something out. And even in this part, don't forget that you have to double some. But this is metalcore. When the metalcore donks do not have quarterpots, you can make quarterpots out of the regular donk, and it will just make some extra noise. That's how we do it. The donks should come like after 4 beats are done, so you're kind of introduced to the metalcore, and then the craziness starts, so like that. So let's listen to the drop part, so you see how it's supposed to sound like probably. I mean, what else do you need? Well, of course, it's kind of empty, so we still have to fill it with brass. Alright, so I did some rearranging, well, but it still sounds empty. We have to add more brass! So obviously, we're just gonna copy this, and we're gonna include the brass. So you can see, you can experiment. I said it at least 78,000 times by now. This is music. As in every art form, you gotta experiment to the highest extent. You see, there's not much to talk about. This is just an addition to what we already have. So I hope you enjoyed, and let's see what we've made today. So see, the enter point of metalcore is so it sounds angry, like super furious. The angrier and more chaotic it is, the better. Well, that's it from me. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like this, press the like button. And I will see you next time. Goodbye!